The DC government has been coming after this businessman and father for 10 years. Mark Witaschek is asking the Supreme Court to hear his case. And this Friday, the justices will decide. This is his last chance. It all started from a bitter divorce. His ex-wife told the police that Witaschek threatened to kill her, and he had illegal guns. A SWAT team raided his house. Well, they prosecuted him for a shotgun shell. They convicted him of muzzleloader bullets.
So they handcuffed us, took us downstairs, sat us down at the dining room table. The kids were in the other room. We couldn't see the room. And then they started, tossing the house, essentially. They turned the house upside down looking for guns and ammunition.
He got a new trial, but he said DC retaliated against him and launched a criminal investigation into his taxes.
If I lose my job, if I lose my business, what good does that do? What good does that do to society? But they didn't care. That's further proof that they could care less about that. They wanted to get me, and that they knew what churches I attended. They knew what social clubs I was a member of. They knew what political parties I donated to. They knew, they had a complete mosaic of my life by all this information that they asked for.
DC convicted him on tax evasion without ever getting a warrant for a judge. He said they violated his Fourth Amendment rights. It was a crime or not a crime. There was no middle ground on your taxes.
Yep. In my case, we have not been able to identify any other taxpayer in the history of DC since they started imposing an income tax where this has happened to anyone. It was
Really?
Me.
Again, you.
Yes.
You're the first person we know of who's gotten criminally charged for muzzleloader bullets, who's gotten prosecuted for one shotgun shell, and now the first person who's gotten their taxes criminally charged without an audit.
Right.
The government's coming after one man for 10 years. How can the government rectify that now?
So if the Supreme Court, if ultimately they agree to hear the case and that is their decision, that I get my reputation back. That in a way that's giving me back 10 years of my life. Secondarily, that there's a line drawn in the sand of this stuff so that this can't happen to somebody else, and so that's enough for me.